The fifth week of the season has come and gone, and so I thought we would review and assess where we stand on our preseason predictions for the 2022 NFL season and hand out some early season awards. As we've gone just past the quarter pole of the year, let's take a look at the standings and where we are at now. Before the season began, I had the Buffalo Bills at 11-6, New England at 8-9, Miami 7-10, and the Jets at 6-11. And after 5 weeks of the season, you can see that in the green numbers here, these are teams that are on pace to either meet or exceed my expectations for this season. Buffalo doing quite well at 4-1. New England not so much, as they're in the red here at 2-3, with Miami at 3-2, and then the superstar of the AFC East is the New York Jets. I really thought they'd only go about 6-11, and here they are at 3-2 already. So they're doing very well. Moving to the AFC North, the North has been disappointing for me. I had Cincinnati at 12-5. Pittsburgh at 10-7, and both teams making the playoffs. But as of right now, they are not living up to expectations of the preseason. Both Baltimore and Cleveland are exceeding expectations at this point with their records. In the AFC South, you can see that the Colts obviously not living up to expectations. But everybody else in the division is either on pace or exceeding the expectations I'd set out for them here during this season. In the AFC West, Kansas City on pace, Denver way behind the pace in the red at 2-3. The Chargers here at 3-2 are exceeding right now, some expectations. I think that they'll, level out and probably have the record that I expect them to have. The Raiders, my goodness, I really thought they'd start the season off much better than this, but they are in the basement in the AFC. The biggest surprise in probably the entire NFL has been the NFC East and what all of the teams in that division have been doing. As you can see, the superstar of the NFC is the New York Giants, who are at 4-1. I had them only winning 4 games before the season began, so me there. The Eagles at 5-0. I think that that's not going to last. I like that they're exceeding their expectations to this point. Dallas, I really thought after Dak Prescott went down that they were going to fall back into the pack. But Cooper Rush has kept them on pace for where I think they're going to be at the end of the season. As for Washington, I knew they was going to have a down year, but it looks like they're going to be in the basement when it's all said and done. The NFC North, and as I predicted, the Vikings would be winning the division, and they are thus far. Green Bay struggled against the Giants here in week number 5. They're still on pace to have an excellent season and probably make the playoffs. Really disappointed in the Detroit Lions thus far. At one point, they led the league in points per game on offense, but they got shut out in a very bad performance against New England here in week 5. Chicago, even though they have a bad record at 2-3, exceeding expectations thus far as we head into week 6. In the NFC South, only the Atlanta Falcons are exceeding expectations or living up to what I thought they would be so far this year. Tampa Bay surprisingly lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. I really thought that they would win that game. And I thought that would, bolster them up to be in a much better position at this point of the season. The Saints offense has let them down, and Carolina looks to be one of the worst teams in the league thus far. Although they've played a lot of teams very tough, they have not, produced wins up to this point. But Atlanta doing well so far. I think they had a real shot to win last week against Tampa Bay if it hadn't been for that bogus roughing the passer call. Finally, we get to the NFC West, and I think the 49ers are currently on pace really to meet the expectations that I felt they'd have at the beginning of the year. The Rams, below expectations at this point, but the Cardinals and the Seahawks are living up to what I thought they would be to this point of the year. Maybe just a hair behind, but still warrant being in the green. And so there you have our current divisions and where we stand based upon what I thought they would have before the season began. Moving on to our early season awards, and for me, the head coach of the year frontrunner has got to be Brian Daboll. The New York Giants have a 4-1 record, and I'm pretty sure nobody saw that coming. As for our NFL MVP frontrunner, for me, I've got to say it's Patrick Mahomes. I know some people would want to argue that it could be either Jalen Hurts with the undefeated Eagles or even Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. But I just think when it comes to throwing touchdown passes, making things happen, and keeping the Chiefs at a better than expected record at this point, Patrick Mahomes is the MVP frontrunner. Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner's got to be Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. You know, with all of the things that he is capable of doing, basically wrecking people's game plans on the offensive side of the ball. He's opened up so many big plays for his teammates because of the kind of attention that he warrants. You know, Lawrence and Armstrong and the other guys on that line are all making big plays because of the kind of attention that he's been drawing. Finally, we're going to look at our Offensive Rookie of the Year frontrunner is Breece Hall, the running back out of Iowa State, playing for the New York Jets. Had a huge day against the Miami Dolphins here this last week. He's been making plays both in the passing game and out of the backfield. And for me, he's the front runner at Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, kind of the same thing here. Devin Lloyd of the Jacksonville Jaguars has a slight edge over Sauce Gardner of the New York Jets. I think that Devin Lloyd's making a lot of plays. He is excellent in both stopping the pass and defending the run for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think he is the Defensive Rookie of the Year frontrunner. So there is our current awards for the season. I want to thank everybody for watching my videos again. This here is a special edition of Picks with David at just past the quarter pole of the season. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my other videos, and we'll see you real soon for Thursday Night Football.